Hello, welcome to Stampin' All Day with Bev. It's Sunday. It's time for my Sunday Night Live. I start promptly at 7. I always tune in a few minutes early so you can get your alert. And if you're not following me, please do. And then you will be notified when I'm going live. And if you can't watch live, maybe you can watch the replay or also on YouTube. I hope you've had a fabulous weekend. It's getting close to Christmas. I know everybody's really, really busy. We had a great weekend visiting with friends, having lunch, strolling a town close by, going to antique shops, all the things I love to do. And then today was another great day. Got a lot done. Hi, Bev. Hi, Lori. Welcome in. I'm glad you're here. It's nice and chilly here. Hey, Karen. It was windier than windy yesterday, and for about quite a few hours. And I was walking in Lodi, and when a gust came, it literally stopped me from walking. I had to lean forward. It only lasted a second. As soon as the gust was gone, I was fine. But it was a crazy windy day yesterday. So today, I got to clean up my yard. Part of the afternoon I spent cleaning up my yard. The wind just blew down every leaf and loose branch there could be. So that was quite a bit of work. Hi Roz, we have one more minute and then I will get started. Going to be working with some last chance product again, as well as some online exclusives. So hi Vicki. So you can see how they combine beautifully together, and you can get the last chance dies before they're all gone. Today's live was inspired by a card I received from my manager, so I will be showing you that as well. And the dies that she used on this card are also on the last chance list, so I want to make sure you know that. And you can order them before they're all gone. It's 7 o'clock, so we're going to get started. Hi, Melody. Thank you guys for always being here. I'm glad you caught me too, Vicki. All right, let me just turn you down now, and we're going to get started. From Illinois. Oh, I'm going to get there someday. I'm going to get there someday. I love to travel the United States. Well, I like to travel, period, but the United States is always something I want to see first before I head out to other countries. Let me turn you around and zoom in a little bit. There we go. Ohio. Oh, I love it. My puffy vest is showing a little bit. Hey, Linda Verts. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody, welcome to Stampin' All Day with Bev. I'm so glad you're here. When I see your names, I just, imagine some of you I haven't met, and I imagine you walking into my shop and us visiting and hugging and saying, oh my gosh, it's so nice to meet you. Hi, Pam. So I'm glad you're here, and you're my friends whether we've met or not, and I love seeing your name each and every Wednesday and every Sunday. My name is Beverlee Morales. I live in Tracy, California, and I have been a demonstrator for almost 30 years. Yep, in March, it will be 30 years. So I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I hope you can tell by my presentations that I've been stamping a while, and I love Stampin' Up! And all the items they give us to work with to make beautiful, beautiful cards, scrapbook pages, 3D items, and anything else really you want to make. If you order from me this month, here is the host code you could use right there. You can take a snapshot of it and put that in with your order. And where do you shop with me? Right here at beverleestamps.stampinup.net. I mentioned my YouTube channel. There it is. It's just my name, easy to find. Hi, Louise, and email me if you win a card from me. Hi, Lisa. There is my email address right there as well. Speaking of that, we have a winner, and we have a winner of Wednesday's card. Here it is, the Victorian, stunning card that everybody loved that watched this live. I absolutely love it too. And, oh, I didn't take the winner's name off the printer. Let me run and get that. Hold on. I usually take it off the printer and cut it down. Hi, Andrea. But the winner is Connie York. Yay, Connie. Congratulations. Now, I do need you to send me your address. If you don't send me your address before my next live, then this just goes back out on my shelves to show at my shop. There is my address. Hi, Becky. Thank you, Becky, for sharing. And talking about sharing, you know, I was using this set, Queen Bee, and I wanted to share some other cards I've made with it. Look at these beautiful, beautiful cards. This is the one that I just shared with you. But this is probably one of my favorite cards that I've ever made. And I just wanted to show you the beautiful things you can make with this set. It's just so layered and so intricate. It has so much detail. Just simply stunning. And this is the card I made way back when this bundle was first available. I told you I fell in love with it right away. It's the one I just made. And then we had one in a class, and everybody that came to class bought the bundle, and then they made this card. So this is how this one looks from the side and the back, and all the way around from the top. Isn't that cool? Thank you, guys. So I just wanted to share, in case you cannot visualize, all the gorgeous things you can make with the Queen Bee stamp set. Those are just a few. But I was totally inspired. My manager, Karen Flores, she gave me, we exchanged Christmas presents yesterday, and in hers, she gave me a Christmas card that she didn't write in, and I fell in love with it. It's using the Humble Home gingerbread set and punch, and she did a little embossing with a folder and stamped in white. Let me see, did she emboss that? Yes, she embossed in white too, but instead of talking about it, I'm just going to show it to you. Let me turn this over so it doesn't interfere. Ah, Karen, I'm so sorry that your Facebook acts up on you. Here is the card. Is this not the sweetest card ever? Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Hi, Joan. It flips open like this. And then it also flips open like this. And here's her little note. And she reminded me that she got this idea from SueStampfield.com. So I don't know if Karen got the fun fold from Sue, or if she and designed this card herself, or the whole design. I'm not sure. I know. Isn't it the cutest, cutest, cutest card? I absolutely love it. Now, I think I missed the boat. I did not order these dies and this stamp set here. And notice it's also on the inside of the card. Here, this die and this stamp also goes with the stamp set. So it's on the last chance list. If you're a person that makes your Christmas cards really early for the next year, this is a great one. Page 40 of the current mini catalog, both the stamp set and the dies are on the last chance list. And you can make this Christmas card for next year. In fact, I love this. Yes, that's definitely a Sue Campfield card. Oh, you know her. Okay, it said Stampfield, so it's Campfield. Oh, okay, she wrote Stampfield. Okay, that makes more sense right there. So there's a little error in the name. And I just fell in love with everything about this card and the fold, that this is the fold that I'm going to use today, but if the design is my design. And I think you're going to love it so much that I'm going to have Lori prep this type of a card, but different stamps and a different, not the one I'm going to show you tonight for open house, but it will be this neat fold. everything will be prepped for you so you can make this at open house. Pretty sure that's what I'm going to do. I absolutely love it. All right, so what did I use tonight? There we go. Hearts of Elegance bundle. Elegance. Oh my gosh. The paper, the designer series paper that comes with this, well, not with the bundle, the stamps and the dies are in the bundle. But if you got everything, then you would know how elegant this set is. So here are the Hearts of Elegance bundle, online exclusive, the designer tags, last chance list. Hi, Viola. The basic white cardstock, Melon Mambo cardstock, Marbled Elegance. Hi, Florence. 12 by 12 designer series paper, online exclusive. And then the inks, Melon Mambo, the metallic wow embossing powder is what I used. And then the tools are the So Swirly folder. Now here's the designer series paper. And it totally works excellent with this So Swirly folder. Because of the marbled paper and the swirly, I thought that just worked really well together. So I'm using that. Cut and emboss the machine, of course, to use my folder and to cut my dies out. My embossing toolkit, I'm going to show you, we're going to work with embossing powder and glue again today. I've done it a little while back. I used it with glue, and I'm going to do that again today. Paper trimmer to cut everything up, and your heat tool to heat up that embossing powder, and you take your pick tool just because it's another finger for you, helps you pick up everything, and your snips, of course. I use dimensionals and liquid glue, and like I said, I was inspired to make this fun fold card from my manager Karen Flores, and she got the idea from Sue, and it says Stampfield, but it's campfield.com. Okay? All right. So show me the card. Oh, I hope you love it as much as I do. Here she is. Look at this. Hey, Marie. I'm going to show you another look at this. Hi, Jean. I'm going to show you another way, and I left it off the list. It's not available yet, but the gold ribbon. I'm going to show you another way to use that. I've been showing you, thank you for all the hearts, you guys, showing you different ways to use that ribbon, and using a lot of it, using a little bit of it, and that type of thing. And today, this is a card that has a bunch of techniques and a bunch of dies that I've showed you in the past, maybe 5-6 weeks. You'll notice the techniques and the things that I do. What I'm trying to do is everything that I've been teaching you, pull it together one last time and show you how all these things make a beautiful, beautiful card. Thank you, guys. I'm getting a lot of comments that you really like this card. That's wonderful. I'm so happy. I know I love it. All right, so let me get my stack of paper here, and let me tell you what you need. Here is the card base, just a regular card base, and the inside for lining is 4 by 5 1/4. That's to line the inside of the card. The card measurements for basic cards are 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, folded in half, scored and burnished. Thanks, Jean. And then, of course, we wing it back to get this beautiful, nice seam here. Okay. Then we need 2 pieces of designer series paper. They are cut 1 inch wide and 5 1/4 inches long. Now that's a little bit different than Susan's. I did change things just a little bit, but if you want it just like Susan's, you can make this 5 1/2. Okay. I need a piece of scrap white for the tag, and this is the tag here. And then a piece of melon mambo cut at 2 5/8 by 5 3/8. The layer opening of the top of the card that opens like this is 2 3/4 inches wide by 11 inches long, and then folded right in half at 5 1/2 and burnished. And also wing it back for your nice seam. Okay. Then a piece of scrap paper. Now this is what I always do, but you don't have to do that. You could just use one piece of designer series paper scrap. I glued this around the edges only, and I'm going to cut out my heart. I want the DSP to be a little bit thicker, so I lined it with white cardstock scrap. But that's just something I like to do so the heart is not flimsy. Okay, let's get started making this card. I think I will start with cutting out the heart. Trying to get my pile situated so I don't lose anything. And cutting out the rows from the heart and from the lining of the card. So I'm using the dies from the Elegance Hearts of Elegance bundle, and there is a bunch of hearts in this stamp set, and there's some flowers and some foliage, some leaves as well, but I'm using this heart tonight. Okay. And then from the design, what do they call that? I always forget the names of these. Yeah, designer tag dies. I'm using that rose again and a different tag. Okay. Now I showed you how to use this before, but I'm telling you that I'm coming back to a lot of things I've showed you before, just so you can see how they work with many different things. All right, so I'm going to need my scrap paper for this die as well. So let me get this scrap here, and we'll get that cutting done. Okay. This one is going to go here like that. Okay, let me get my machine. And we'll start cutting. Platforms 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to cut out my tag. The other two pieces are kind of big, so I'm just going to cut out my tag by itself. And then I'll bring those other pieces and cut them out by themselves as well. So here's my tag. There you go. Okay. And then this is the layer piece for the inside of the card. I want to make sure it's straight, so I'm going to turn it this way so I can see what I'm doing. And I think my tape is far away from me, so I'm just going to use this Post-it note. Okay. So I talked about this die in the designer tags, about how it doesn't cut out the rows, it cuts out the image in a solid piece. So you're going to see how that works right now. I need this again, so I'm going to leave it right there. And it cuts out the image into the solid white cardstock. These little, it's an intricate die, but these little pieces come out very, very easily. You just have to poke at them. If you take your pick tool, it will help you pick at them even easier. I'm just using my nail right now. And then you have this beautiful rose on your layer piece where you can write your message. Okay, Let's get rid of these little scraps. Okay, now I'm going to take the scrap basic white that is covered with the back side of the marbleized paper. So this is the same paper in the same pack, and run that through. Hi, Jeanette. Welcome. Okay, here's one of the dies that might need the chapstick trick. If it doesn't just pop out really easy, let's see. I hope, oh, it's still popping out easy with your take your pick tool, because I've used the chapstick trick on here a while back. Remember that? Remember if you were watching? Gosh, what was that, 2 months ago? And it still allows this die to come out very, very easily. You just use the holes that are in the die and you take your pick tool and punch, and it will pop out. Okay. If it starts getting stuck, then it's time for more chapstick on here. Okay, so now we're going to take this beautiful heart and we're going to go back to this beautiful flower. And we're just going to place this flower onto the heart. I'm going to tape it down. And then run it through. Now I'm going to run it back. Hi, Sandy. Because we're going through 2 pieces of paper. So I went twice or 4 times. Up and back is 1, up and back is twice. Or you can count it up and back, whichever. Just because this time I was going through designer series paper and cardstock, so I didn't want it to stick, all these little pieces to stick in there and to have a hard time getting them out. I am going to take my take your pick tool though, and let's move this right now. And I'm going to just push in the areas. See how easy that comes out. It may not have come out that quickly if I only went past through 1 time, just because of the double thickness. Like I said, you don't need to back this with cardstock at all. It's just what I like to do. If you start doing it, you might fall in love with it too. It just gives the larger items some stability, and I just really like the thickness of it. Okay, look how pretty that is. So remember, this rose is from the designer tags that are on the last chance list. Okay, so we have the inside of our card. We have the heart. Let's look at the card again. And we have the tag. So let's work on the tag. Gosh, this is just so pretty. Wow. Okay. So let's work on the tag. I'm going to take my Melon Mambo ink and the Love You stamp from the stamp set. Something on here. Okay. And I'm going to put my pointer finger on the stamp block, my middle finger and my thumb on the edges of the block, and tap. Okay, then I'm going to line up my stamp with one of the lines on my glass mat, take both hands and lay this down right on the tag. It's kind of a big stamp, so I'm going to press the palm of my hand on top, and I am giving the ink time to soak into that white cardstock. It might lift up. Yep, see, it lifted up with it, and just pull it down, and there you go. If you do those steps every time, you'll always have a perfect image. All right, so my little technique with the Wow metallic Wow embossing powder and the glue. I taught you this a few weeks back, maybe a month or so, longer than that. and this is the metallic gold. In this pack is on the list that I gave you is the gold, the silver, and the copper. Hi, Brenda. All right, let me get my tray. Just to grab all my powder. Okay, had some residue from another powder in there, so I want to clean that off. And I'm going to take my glue. No problem, at least you're here. Now, this look, here's what we're doing right now. This tag. I'm going to get really close. This look is almost like puff paint when you do this, okay? It's a lot thicker than normal embossing. It looks like puff paint to me. Now, when my customers come to my classes, or like Lori, when she sees this in person tomorrow, she'll say, oh my gosh, it's so much prettier in person. That drives me crazy because the camera cannot pick up, I guess, what a card really, really looks like. So if you like what you see, think about, and the person that wins this will see it in person. Think about, wow, it's even prettier in person, they say. So we'll see what you think if you don't get to come and see it, but you win it. So I'm just running glue around the edges of this tag. Then I'm going to take the lid off of my powder, which I probably should have done first. And I'm going to pour it right on this glue. The girls laugh at me in classes and stuff. They say, man, you just pour it on there, don't you? I do. I'm going to blow most of that off. Now I have quite a bit of residue on here. Why? I forgot to use my embossing buddy first, and I am notorious for that. It's a very bad habit. So let me get my brush. And this comes with the toolkit as well. Thank goodness, because it saves me all the time. Why I can't remember to use my embossing buddy most of the time is beyond me. Because if you use it, you won't get this lingering powder, or very much of it. If you might get a little bit, but not much. But thank goodness this brush is in the kit, so I can fix my messes. Okay. Now I'm going to set this down and hold it down with my brush. I'm not going to hold it with my reverse tweezers because I don't want to smash that gold. I'm going to turn on my heat tool. Let it warm up a sec. Put my lid on my embossing powder so I don't spill it accidentally. It's probably a very good idea. And I want you to watch this glue and this embossing powder puff. So I'm just pointing it right at the powder. And you're going to see it turn shiny and it's going to get bubbly. When you see that start to react, just move your paper or your tool, your heat tool, whichever one, and keep going. See how much thicker that is? It's almost like volcanic lava or puff paint. I just love the look. I made this tag originally without this gold trim on here, and I kept staring at it saying it needs a little something else. And after I decided to, I'm gonna let that cool off a second. After I decided to use this technique on that, I fell in love with the tag. What do you guys think? Okay, so I'm letting it cool off, and once it's cooled off, you can touch it. It's not going to flatten, it's not going to ruin, it's not going to smear. You've dried the glue, you've dried the powder on the glue. Okay, so we've got these 3 pieces, hi Jill, made now. So let's go to the card. I think I got some glue on my fingers. Let me clean my fingers. Okay. Here is the card base. And I'm going to burnish it one more time because it's popping up at me. All right. And then I'm going to take those 2 pieces of the Designer Series paper, and I'm going to glue them down right on the cover of the card. So here's the card again. Here's what I'm gluing down now, these 2 pieces here, okay? Take your glue, and you get to choose what side of the paper you want to use. This paper is all double-sided, but we're doing a very elegant, blingy card with all this gold in there. And we want to leave as much, we want to try to frame the card with these 2 pieces of Designer Series paper, so we want to leave the same spacing up as top as on bottom. Oh, I can't to try that technique. Oh, you can't wait, I think you mean. Yes, yes, you'll love it. You'll love it. It's so pretty. So let's put this down as well. And again, now this time, because we already have one down, we're going to try to line up the, oops, I'm not in camera. We're going to try to line up the tops. Okay. All right, now we take the piece that's 2 3/4 by 11, and that's going to go right on top. We can close our card now, but we need to use the folder to emboss that. So let's move our product and get that tool here again. And for this specific folder, we need platform 1 and acrylic 3. So here's the folder. So we need platform 1, acrylic number 3. The acrylics are number 3, both of them. And like I've shown you in the past, I write down on the folder what platforms you need, so you don't ever have to guess and get frustrated. Okay, so now I'm going to put this paper in to the folder, and then acrylic number 3, the second one, and run it through. Welcome, Patricia. I'm glad you're here. Crank, crank, crank. Okay, and then pull it through. And look at this. Isn't it pretty with the swirl of the marble paper? I just love them together. Okay, so this is the So Swirly embossing folder. So now let's look at the card and see what else we've got going on here. Okay, next we have a layer piece of Melon Mambo, and that's going to go right onto, shoot, you know what I did? Okay, I forgot to cut out this white piece. That's what I did. So I embossed the big piece instead of the small piece. Well, this card is just going to be a little fancier. So I need to cut out another white piece. That's what I did. I'm like, what is wrong here? Okay, so this is the right measurement I gave you, but now we need a little piece a little bit smaller. So let me get my paper trimmer. Kind of glad this happened because I want to show you with the 5/8 and 3/8 you guys get, not you guys specifically, but some people get frustrated. So this one is 2 5/8 by 5 3/8. So I'm seeing the 2 5/8 right there. So I'm going to go down. 2 5/8. I'm going to go down just a 1/16. Okay. And then I'm going to look and see what that looks like. So this will be on here. We're just going to have some extra swirl underneath as well. And then this piece is going to go on top. And is a 1/16 enough to show just a little bit of pink? It is. We don't want a whole lot of pink showing, just a little bit. So the length was 5 3/8. Try to get in camera so you can see. 5 3/8. So we're just going to go down a 1/16 for the white. Okay. So let me test it out again and make sure I've got the right measurement. I just want a hint of the melon mambo showing. Yep. So now I need to run that through the same folder. Where did I put my folder? Here it is. Just gonna do that off camera real quick. You just saw me do it with the other piece. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this on. So let's glue the white swirled paper onto the Melon Mambo cardstock. Hey, Margaret. So there's a lot of pieces. Lori's going to say, are you sure you want to do this for open house? But yes, with her and I both cutting, it won't take long to get all our packets made for all of you that are my regulars and for you that RSVP. Now remember, if you RSVP, you have to let me know at least 2 days before open house, which is the 2nd of January this time. So you need to let me know that you want to come, so I can have your packets made. Now I'm going to layer it onto that big folding piece. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to use a different stamp set, probably something very new, so you can play with a new stamp set. Okay, so there's that little piece. Now we go back to the card base and we stick this all down between those 2 strips of designer series paper. This is a special card, I think. Yes, I'm going to mass produce it for open house, but I don't think I'd mass produce it like for a birthday party invitation or something like that. This would be a card I send for Valentine's or one birthday, or, you know, somebody, not mass produce, because there's quite a bit to making this card. But it's so worth it. Look at this. Look how it just starts to come together. Then we've got this beautiful heart there, just like that. But what is different? Look how stark that is, and this one isn't. I showed you how to back this with embossed paper. Now I'm going to show you how to back this with this ribbon. So you're just going to cut a little piece that fits over the holes of the rose. Very special. And then you need a second piece because there's more roses to cover. So we'll do that. And again, we're not using a whole bunch of this ribbon, just little pieces here. So we're going to go to the back of the heart, and we're going to put that down. And what have I taught you? Scotch tape, because the weave is so it's a loose weave, so Scotch tape works best to hold that down. If you get too wide of a piece, just cut it in half. Stick that down, and then we're going to take the other piece and we're going to cover the other rose there. I see a little poking out right there, so I'll just snip that off. And look at this. With my fingers behind it, you can't, can you see the ribbon in there? It's kind of like a gold spider webbing. So when we lay this down here, it shows up better because it's on the white cardstock. Now to put this down, we're going to use dimensionals. So I'm going to take 3 dimensionals because remember this is on a flap. So we don't want the wide part of the heart to get stuck to the card. We only want to stick it to the flap. So I look and see that we should put a dimensional here, here, and here. So let's do that. Okay, and then before I put this all the way down, I'm going to grab my love, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ensure that the corner of the tag is at the top of the card, not over, just right at the top. And then the dimensional is right there. So let's see if that will hook both the tag and the heart. It does, but I'm not trusting that it's going to hold it good enough. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue underneath there to help it stay down there like that. So here is the front of your card. Okay, so now we've got to stamp a little bit. Now the inside of the card, we put this piece here in there. So I really don't see the necessity. Hi, Kevin. I don't see it necessary to stamp a sentiment. You certainly can, but you don't have to. This is where you can write your message. So open up the card just like a normal card and set this down. Even though it's white on white, it still shows up beautifully. and you have a room to write your message. But you also have this flap. Okay, so let me get my ink pad again. And these stamps are from the stamp set in this bundle, sending lots of love. So you don't have to have this as a Valentine. You can be sending lots of love to someone who needs it. My cousin, who I adore, is very sick right now. And so I sent her a Christmas card, but I'm also going to send her lots of love. She will be getting this card. So I need to make another one because I'm going to give her one and somebody's going to win one. And then I'm going to use the XOXO and just send her a ton of hugs and kisses. My cousin, her name is Lydia. She is the person who I credit for bringing me to the Lord. She's a very, very, very special person, and Jesus is the most important thing in her life. And through her actions and her ways and her speaking, I just knew that she was onto something. And this was many, many years ago. And she's very sick right now, and she's leaning on the Lord to heal her. So when I send her cards like this, it just thrills her and makes her smile. She always loves receiving my cards. So this one will go to her. So we have a card that's beautiful on the front. Open up the flap, and you've got a message that you can just sign. And then you open up the card, and you can even write more. What do you guys think? There you go. Now you could add those cute little bees if you want this to be a Valentine, like maybe a couple of bees somewhere on the front. And then there's a stamp that also says oh, thank you, Becky, that says "Be Mine" in the stamp set. So you could add the bees to this if you wanted to as well. So remember that the dies that do this are on the last chance list. Remember that the ribbon is in the new catalog coming up in January. Remember that the heart stamp set is, and the DSP and everything is on an online exclusive. I know everything's everywhere, but look at the list I gave you at the beginning, and it'll make it easier for you if you want to order any of this product to make these beautiful cards. Okay? Are there any questions? Nope. All right. You guys have a nice rest of your evening. I'm going to go relax after raking my probably half acre. I didn't rake the whole thing, but my daughter helped me. So, all right. I'm going to go rest. Take care, ladies. Bye-bye.